Good morning. That caught me off guard. I was zoning a little bit there. Welcome to In the Know. Glad you guys are with me this morning. Um, Stopped up, man. I tell you, the cool weather is the change in weather is getting to me. Um, what is your favorite thing um, about the time change? Which is coming up, by the way. Just a few weeks, we'll change our time, go back 1 hour. What's your favorite thing about the time change? I'm gonna have to get a sticker for that side of the cup, huh? Favorite thing about the time change? I'll tell you one. I'm not in the studio now, obviously, but the studio clock will be right. So I've got that little coffee clock back up behind me in the studio, and so I forgot to change it when we went forward in the spring. So my studio clock will be correct for however many months. What is that? November, December, January, February, March. For 5 months, my studio clock will be right. So, what's your favorite thing about the time change? I know that this is going to be the hardest question of your day, right? By the way, happy Columbus Day, um, a holiday. The church office is closed, but I want to get to where I'm more consistent with Java and Jesus with you guys, so I don't like leave you hanging on days. Favorite thing about the time change? Anybody? Do you have a? Can you find something? This is in the realm of whatever is honorable, whatever is pure, whatever is upright, whatever is building. Set your mind on these things. So we'll be positive about it. Um, do you guys have a clock somewhere that you never changed, so it's right for part of the year? Favorite thing about the time change? Y'all are having trouble with that one, aren't you? Do you know? Let me ask a different question while you guys are struggling to come up with an answer for that one. Which, if we kept it the same, which would you prefer? Daylight savings time that we're on now, or standard time? Daylight savings or standard time? That one, I think, is pretty easy for me. I'm trying to think of any downsides. I think I like the daylight savings time. It's already like the sun's coming up later. Our days are getting shorter as we hit the end of December or middle of December 21st, and so the days are getting shorter. Sun's coming up later. It's going down a little bit earlier, and I think I'm okay with where it is right now. They say that one of the reasons that they go back to standard time is that the kids would be going to school in the dark. But the way everybody's involved in school these days, if they're in any kind of activity, they're coming home in the dark. So I don't know that matters whether it's dark when they start or dark when they finish. Um, Daylight savings time. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Uh, Getting dark at 6 o'clock is still kind of weird, but when we change it and it's dark at 5, um, I'm the kind of person that I would be fine with getting up when the sun comes up and going to bed when the sun goes down, and that works for a lot of the time of the year, um, but not so much in the winter because it's dark at 5. Some places in the mountains it starts getting dark about 3:30. The sun goes down behind the mountain peak, and it's getting dark. um, yeah, me too, Vicky. I don't like uh, that 1 hour. You wouldn't think would make a difference, and these people who travel all the time, maybe it doesn't. They're always dealing with some kind of time change. But I I would rather just not change the time. Just going when we're traveling back and forth from Texas. I guess that because you're driving 10 hours or so. That I don't know if I'm tired from the hour time change or tired from the long drive, but it gets to me. Um, It's not as bad as going, 8 or 10 hour time change difference. You get jet lag pretty good that way. Um, I, I I would rather here's the hard part. I would rather it be daylight savings time. I think I can get up in the dark. That's not a problem for me. Staying up after 4 hours after it's dark is kind of hard. The thing, because I've talked about this with some friends before. I had one at one point, one of our church members living in New Mexico, um, and working down on one of the border checkpoints in Texas. Um, he said that if we did the time change, even if El Paso followed us for Mountain Time Zone, but that's a state thing. The states get to decide whether they change or not. He said if they did, he would find himself working oftentimes in 3 different time zones. So he would have New Mexico time zone, he would have Arizona time zone, and then he would have the Texas time zone. If we were same as Arizona, it wouldn't be bad. But anyhow, I'm not quite ready for that time change, but it's going to happen. I need to put a graphic in to start reminding people in the church. Um, we will fall back. But here's what's really funny, and I can understand why. I just over the years have noticed it's really funny. Um, Whenever you spring forward, you have a lot of people who miss church because they forgot to spring forward. They wake up and they've lost an hour, forgot. Um, and so they miss church, but it's pretty rare that somebody shows up an hour early. Now, it has happened. In fact, Cynthia and I did that one time when I was youth minister in Granbury, Texas. It was an hour drive, and we showed up an hour early, and took us a long time to figure out why no one was there. One of the deacons came to turn the heater on, and we said, "Where is everybody?" He said, "Oh, you must have forgotten to change your clocks." So, yeah, time change is coming. That's not what we're talking about this morning. What I want to talk about this morning is the number you need to know. Um, so we institute a lot of technology in our church. So we have our and we're going to try to keep the terminology close to the same. Um, our Bible app is the YouVersion Bible app, and we're in there. And if you go in there and you make Summit Christian Fellowship your church, then there's some things, benefits that you get from that. You'll get updates from us through that app. One of the cool things that I want to do, and I mentioned it, I think on Sunday, is for us to go through a Bible reading plan together. I think that'll be cool, and so we can do that. You'll get notifications through the app. You get notifications if you've done that. That our notes are available on Sunday mornings whenever they post. Some cool things with that. That's the Bible app, and so you get information from there. We have our church app, and that's the Church Center app, and that one's the one that is really, really helpful if you're involved in a group like a Bible study or a ministry group, those kind of things. Then that's where we work with you through that. You'll get announcements through there, or notifications, I should say, through there. That's the Church Center app, and that's actually the one that we're using for all the hub of our church membership stuff, and not just church members, attenders. So when you sign up for something, we have registrations that are through the Church Center app. We have you can actually, like if it's for a paying event, like for a men's retreat, you can sign up on there and you can pay online on that. That's really cool. You get notifications about that. Our church directory is through the Church Center app. One of the things, and so many things, boy, it's just hard to let everybody know everything, how to do stuff. Uh, the only way that you can be in the church directory is if you have to put yourself in. So you have to go into your settings on the Church Center app, and you have to say, put view me in the directory. I forget what it says. Show it in the directory. But that's pretty handy, because then anybody can look on there and see. And they've done some things for privacy on the Church Center app. They don't list your phone number or email or anything, but you can contact people. So if you're in the church directory, they're in the church directory. It'll message you, it'll message them through the Church Center app, and then they can choose to give you whatever information they want. But they've had to do that over the years with privacy. So the Bible app, the YouVersion Bible app, the Church Center app, and then we have something that we use for texting, and it's not really an app for you guys. It's just a text. It's just a number, and that's what I want to talk about today. Let me get a drink of water. Sorry about my voice. This is not water. I don't know why I said water. It's coffee. I'm gonna get some more coffee. So our texting app, and it's Glue, GLO, but that won't matter to you guys. All you need to know is it's a number that you guys can text to. So I'm going to put it in here. Jenny knows this one. Jenny's texted to it. Make sure I get the number in there right. So here's the number. And when you, here's the cool thing about this number. So if you text to someone's phone, then that only goes to that person, and then they have to try to figure out how to get other people to help with whatever it is that you're wanting to know. When you text to this number, the 833-260-4524, when you text to that number, then that goes to the app, and then we have staff and then some other team members that can help with whatever it is that you're texting about. But it gets even cooler than that. If you text into it, and I know, let's say it's a children's ministry question, I can actually assign that to Cynthia. Then it notifies her. She should get the notification anyhow, but it notifies her that, hey, this person has a question about this, and then she can respond through the app to help you with that. So many things, and you can text any question. Jenny, you've done this. You can text it just like you're texting a person, because we see the text that you do. Some of the things on there actually already have some automated responses. For example, if a guest in our church, or someone, they're asking a question about something. What is your service times? I'm assuming if they've been to our church, they already know those. But what are your church service times? It has an automated response that'll just respond automatically to those, so that you'll get the answer right away. It uses a basic form of AI to help answer some of those questions. If it's something that you text in there and it doesn't know the answer, then you'll get a response like, "Thanks for texting in. I'll forward this to someone else who will be able to answer your questions." And so, lots of cool stuff like that. That I want for our church to be our primary form of communication, because you can contact, and that one goes to we're still flushing out who gets the notification, so it just doesn't depend on one person, because we don't want someone to text in and not get an answer. But that one is so useful. It's just like texting a person, basically, with a few more layers in there. But it's cool. Here's what you can do. You can text in the word. So we have some keywords, and I was looking for the list. I couldn't find it before I came on. We have some keywords that you can text in, and it'll do some things for you. For example, whenever we do baptisms, you can text the word baptism, and it will put you in this group of people who are interested in the upcoming baptisms. And so then you'll get an automated response that gives you information about when the next baptism services are, and about what they'll need to do. But then it also puts them in a group. So then when we can go and we can send out messages to that group about things that are happening, things coming up, and then we can contact them, obviously, individually, and make appointments and stuff with them. There's another one with serve. You can text the word serve. When you text that in, then it puts you in this group, and then we know that you're interested in serving somewhere, and we can contact you. Some of these we have to flesh out a little bit, and get more people involved in those. But you can, what else can you do? When we did the one-day mission trip, then you text the word mission trip in, and it puts you in that one. You get information about that. So there's a lot of those that's really cool. If you text in Kids Club, it puts you in that Kids Club group, and that one is cool. So like our parents, we can give them notifications about Kids Club. They get all that, and for them too. And we've gotten this. So let's say that their kid is coming to Kids Club, but someone different is picking them up. Then the parents text into that number and say, "Hey, little Johnny's at Kids Club today, and his grandma and grandpa, and give us their names, are going to pick him up." And so that's just an easy way to communicate with us. And we get those. If you call the church office and leave a message, obviously we're not going to get that until the next day. So that's really cool. We do the same thing with student ministry. Text in Stu Men, and you'll get student ministry updates. Same thing with the men, the women. So it's really cool, because once you do that, that puts you in that little group, and then we can text, and you can text anything for that. Here's the one that is maybe kind of the trickiest. You can use it to ask for prayer requests, but this one's a little tricky. You can only text in the word prayer, and then it will respond, and it'll ask you what your prayer request is. And then when you do that, then it'll forward that, and it handles that one a little bit differently, because it handles it as a prayer request. It's kind of built into the system. If you text in prayer and then what your prayer request is, then that goes kind of into this separate little holding box, because it doesn't know what to do with that one, until someone goes and checks that and says, "Oh, that's actually a prayer request." And then we have to do some other things to get that to the people who are on our prayer team. But if you just text the word prayer and then you wait for the response, then text your prayer request in, then everyone who's on that notification list for the prayer team, they get that prayer request. And so that's really cool. Had someone call me last week and said, "Hey, I have a prayer request." And I said, "Okay, I'll do that. But let me tell you how you can get that out quicker. Because if I'm somewhere, if I'm in a meeting or something, I can't answer the phone. There's not a whole lot I can do. But what I did was took that prayer request, and I texted in, because I was not in the office, texted in the word prayer, and then it responded to me. I put in the prayer request, then it sent it out to the members of the prayer team. So that one is way cool. And there's some other things that we can do with that. But the cool thing is that you can communicate with us anytime. Obviously, if you do at 2 a.m., not many people are going to check their notifications. My notifications are quiet through the night. Not from you guys. I would certainly take messages from you guys, but I can't ferret out what's coming from you and what is. Amazon has some new deals. Everyone now is using the text notification thing that's taking the place of email. So who knows what the next big thing is going to be. And I'm not smart enough maybe to go through and say, let these numbers come through or whatever. But anyhow, that's a number you need to know. That's a number. You can use that number for everything pretty much. We will get you handled with that number. So the number you need to know, and I need to tell, here's what I need to send this out on our church app. So put this number in your phone, and you can put it as Summit Text. And so you put that in your phone, and then any communications that you need to have with us, you can do that, and we can handle it. And that way too, you can whenever you get the text in, then you know who it's from. Here's the thing that we're working on better. We forget that when we text you back, it doesn't say who it is. So it could be one of many people. So we're going to have to be better about putting, if I respond to a text, to put Pastor Larry at the end of the text so that you know who it is. And if it's Hillary or Hope or Cynthia or, whoever, put our name in there. But that's the number you need to know, 833-260-4524. Put that in your phone, Summit Text. I've got to change mine because mine said FBC Cloudcroft text. So we got to change those. And there's some other things I noticed too. I was playing around with it this morning, that the text app, and you can unsubscribe if you want. But here's what people don't realize. It doesn't distinguish. So let's say that you got into it because you had kids in kids club, and so that's the group that you're in. When you unsubscribe, it doesn't just unsubscribe you from that group, it'll unsubscribe you from the app. And so some of those people may not realize why they're not getting any church information anymore. I looked, and there were some, and there were people mostly who they don't attend our church, but they had kids in our kids club. And so I saw that they unsubscribed, and I thought, So one of them is a member of our church, but the wife is still in there. So anyway, that's a number you need to know, 833-260-4524. And in fact, I may schedule a notification through our church app for people to put that in, and maybe have a little we can create things, but a little description on what it is and what you can do with that number. That's it. Thank you guys for jumping on this Columbus Day holiday Monday morning for In the Know. Let me pray for you guys, and I'll send you out into the week. We'll be back on Wednesday. Jim's out of town, so it'll just be me, but I'll be back in the studio. Let's pray. Father, thank you for your love. Thank you for the way that that you use us, that you work in us. God, help us as church leadership to do well at communicating and keeping in touch with the people in our church. Lord, I pray that you would help us to use tools like this to better pastor the flock. And God, would you use us in ways that bring you honor and glory? In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks, guys, for jumping in, and we'll see you